Welcome to Camo Office Hours. I'm your host, Eden from Camo. I forgot my name there for a second. And I'm here today to share new features in our Camo Studio for iPad 1.2 update with two new headline features of mobile support and revamped screen recording. So before we start, I'd love to know where you're joining from, as always, and if you've checked out the latest update on the iPad. Shout out to Brusco, always in the house. What's up? Hope you are having a great day from sunny Florida. So as I'm going along, I'll be monitoring the chat, so feel free to drop comments or questions into the chat. I'm happy to take any video creation, content creation questions, or questions on how to use Camo both on the iPad and on the desktop. So if you guys are ready to get into it, let's set up some scenes together. So the first feature I'm going to talk about is mobile camera support. This means that you can pair any device compatible with our Camo mobile app, which can be found in the App Store or Google Play. This feature works with both iOS and Android, allowing you to use the awesome camera in your pocket that Apple, Google, Samsung, etc. put so much investment and R&D dollars into with the Camo Studio for iPad app, the ultimate streaming solution available for free in the App Store. All right, so to get started, grab your phone or tablet and open up the App Store or Google Play. Yo, shout out from Saudi Arabia, Turkey. What is up? Oh, and Brusco, back to Vegas, Brusco. What's up? All right. So App Store, go to search and hit Camo. So not Camo Space, Camo Sniper, but Camo or Camo Studio. So, oops, let's go back to the App Store, sorry. So it's the same icon as the Camo Studio for iPad logo, except it's blue. So that's the one that you're looking for. Download that and then open it up. And then on the iPad side, now, yo, shouts to Victor joining from work. I won't tell your boss. I appreciate you being here. Podcast to Inspire from New Jersey. I'm in New York, so you are very close to where I am. All right. So from your secondary video source settings, I mean, you can use primary or secondary, but because I'm going to be setting up a scene with screen recording, I'm going straight to the secondary video source. Go to the source type and hit camera. Under device, you're going to want to pair a device. And then on the phone side, you want to hit the third circle icon, which is the pairing icon. And it will open up a QR code scanner. And then now scan the code to pull it up in Camo Studio. Did it pair? Oh, why isn't it pairing? Oh, I forgot one thing. Sorry. Delete. All right, just gonna try this again. Did it work this time? It did not. All right, that's fine. We're gonna switch to my other phone that I prepared ahead of time. I reset a bunch of stuff earlier, so the point of this story is to never update anything, because when you update stuff, it breaks. There we go. And I'm using now my other camera instead of my first camera that I was using, so we're just gonna make some quick adjustments. I am going to mount the phone, though, as originally planned, and finish going through my pairing walkthrough. All right, so after you're paired, the mobile camera feed, which is this one up here that I'm pointing to, as you can see, it's different than the one that I'm using for my main camera. It'll automatically select the camera that you just paired. I really like to use the auto framing feature when I am placing a camera that is a small, like that's a smaller view, because I move around a lot when I'm streaming Turkey, I see your question. I'm going to get to it in a little bit after I finish walking through the phone pairing. And this says placeholder comment. Yeah. I'll get to your question in a little bit, Turkey. Victor says you just did this with Mac and iPhone like 5 minutes ago. Worked great. The Apple ecosystem really does work really well when it works together. But I do want to add a note that Camo Studio for iPad works with both iPhones or Androids. So let me know if you're team iPhone or team Android in the live stream, if you're team blue bubble or green bubble. Text bubble colors don't matter for Camo Studio, so there's no bias there. I'm just curious as to know what type of phones you guys are using and what cameras you guys are using. Okay, so for the paired device, you see this lens drop down here, which means you can use the lenses that are available on your phone to use for streaming. So if I go ultra wide, you'll see that here, let me make this one a little bit bigger for now, just so you guys can get an idea of what it looks like. My ultra wide, this is my regular wide. I have the framing on already, so it stays cropped onto my face. And then telephoto is gonna be way super close. And also have the selfie camera view, but that one's currently pointing at the wall, so we won't try that one. In the scene, I'm going to make it a smaller circle again and pop it in the corner for here. In addition to the lenses, you also have the image enhancement. So actually, let me zoom back out and make this bigger again. All right, it's really hard to find the corners when you're using a mouse on the iPad. It's way easier if you just use your hands to pinch and drag to resize, but I'm using the mouse, so it's a little more delicate. But the background enhancement features are really cool that are already existing on the iPad. I'm actually going to put it onto privacy mode because my background is a little messy today. Shout out to NA and Hank. Thanks for joining today. Good to see you guys in the chat. And now I'm going to make this back smaller. I just wanted to show you guys the background effects. Here, let me just run through them. So portrait mode is our famous feature for background blur that is super popular on both desktop and on iPad. But you can see with the adjustment slider that it's blurrier if you turn it up and less blurry if you turn it all the way down. But I'm going full blur for privacy mode for this demo. All right, we're putting my little camera view back in the corner. And then for filter, I'm not going to have any turned on, but you can add one if you want. I see that Podcast to Inspire says Team iPhone as well. Same here, iPhone, Team iPhone. Also, Spotlight is also one of our cool image enhancement features that I'll just demo real quick since we're here. I'm turning it way up for dramatic effect, but if I turn it off, you'll see that the lighting on my face is a lot darker. So when I turn it on and have it turned up, you can tell that it just brightens up my face a lot more, which is really useful if you are streaming in a setting where you don't have enough light, or if you're traveling and you don't have your usual lighting set up. So that's just a little quick update on our image enhancement features. I'm gonna turn it off for now though, because I'm pretty happy with my face lighting. All right, so that's it for video on this scene, but another part that I wanted to show you guys for this update is that now when you, all right, we're gonna go over to the audio tab. So now when you connect a mobile phone, you can use it as an audio source. So you can see that my paired iPhone has shown up here as an audio source, and if you click the drop-down menu, you'll see the options for the mic, because the iPhone has two mics on it. One is the camera one, and one is the bottom. And if you have a mic connected to your iPhone, you can also use it as a audio source. So that's actually one of the really underrated things about this update, is that you're not just able to use the Camo mobile app to add in another camera view, especially like wirelessly. So now you don't have to worry about plugging in a webcam or a capture card and then like running out of ports, because the iPad only has one port. So wireless support for mobile is really cool, and it has the added benefit of being able to use connected mics to it. I'm gonna come back to audio mixing using Camo Mobile as an audio source, but for now, I just wanted to show you guys that we have more audio sources, no longer limited to just one on the iPad. All right, yo, shouts to James Hicks, who is here. I have some snacks for you, Cheez-Its, because when James is in the house, gotta have snacks ready for him. David, thanks for joining today. Yo, awesome. I have also the iPhone 13 Pro. It has such good camera quality, so I'm really glad to see that you're using it and getting great results from it as well. Okay, so that's the short version for Camo Mobile support. Now let's finish setting up our scene. This is actually the part I'm really excited about, is because we have this exciting new screen recording experience. So now when you add a screen share, if you select type and you do apps on this iPad, you'll see it pop up in your scene, and it will be the original size of the iPad screen. So nothing is cropped out. And from here, you can place it, size it in your Camo scene. I'm just gonna bring it back here in the middle for now. And then, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this activate screen capture button is new in the left-hand navigation panel. So let's click on it, because if I see a new button in an app, I obviously just click on it without even reading the description. Let's start the broadcast. Okay, actually let's read it though, because it's relevant to using it. It says, Camo will capture this device's screen, start recording or streaming, and then switch to the app you want to include. When capturing the device's screen, the secondary input will appear as a pip element. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys this. I'm gonna stop it and then start it again. Do you guys see how my original secondary video source was set to a circle frame, but when I activate the screen capture, it changes to a rounded rectangle. This is because when we activate screen capture, the iPad operating system takes over the camera shape and placement, but you can see what it's going to look like in your scene preview here. You can resize it, but you are limited to the rectangle with rounded corners, and the placement is limited to the 4 corners. If you try to place it in anywhere else, you'll see it sort of jump to one of the corners. But at least now you can see in your preview screen what it will look like, and it will be a lot closer to what the final stream or recording is. So as you can see, when we turned on the privacy mode earlier, that's still on and that's still active. I guess I turned on a filter by accident, but any of the image enhancements you add will still be active in the preview. It is just the camera frame shape that gets voided as soon as you start the system capture. So if you are in the editing tab and you want to add borders, you can still add borders. The borders will still show up. It is just the frame shape that gets taken over by the system capture, so you won't get a circle or any other shape than the rounded rectangles. So let me know if you guys have any questions about the new screen recording experience. I'm really happy to share this update with you guys, because I know we've gotten a lot of really constructive feedback from y'all about how it was before this update. So I would really love for you guys to try it out and let me know what you guys think. Shouts to Roque Muthis from Mozambique. Thank you for joining us today. All right, so as I am waiting for any questions to roll in, especially about screen recording, Turkey, I am going to get to your question about how you can have a live chat in Camo Studio. So the way that I would recommend to add live chat to Camo Studio, and and just to make sure I understand you correctly, let me know if you mean that you want like the live stream chat to be shown on your screen. To do that, I would use a web overlay, such as one from Stream Elements. Those are our friends over there. Let me drop a link in the chat for you. Let's see, this one. StreamElements.com has web overlays that you can use as chat boxes for your live stream. All right. Sorry, I lost my mouse because I went to StreamElements.com. All right, it is shared now. Now I'm back. Dr. Adam TNT, Camo Studio is awesome. Greetings from Europe. Thank you for joining us today. Oh, it's getting dinner time over there, I think. So thanks for joining us in your evening time. Good to see you. Access Production asks a good question. Can you play audio from iPhone to the iPad over a live? So right now, I don't think we can do that because the options for adding audio using the Camo mobile app is to use the Camo mobile mic. It's not using the iPhone itself as an audio source, but I can add that for you as a feature request in our feature request sheet and see if there's anything that we can do to make that possible. I'm not on the development side, so I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to make any promises, but we have gotten that request. We have gotten the request before to add like another audio source, whether it's from a phone or anywhere else, or to play it from the iPad. We've also gotten that request, but I'll add it as a feature request for you. But right now, we're not able to play music from your phone to the iPad, but hopefully we can some point in the future. Okay, Turkey, you said that you tried to use the chat from a web overlay and it didn't work. Can you write into us at support@reincubate.com? Send us the link that you tried to use, and we will look into it and do some testing and see if we can figure out why it's not working for you. But yeah, just reach out to us in the email that I just dropped into the chat, and we're happy to take a look with you. I will say that web overlays, different services work kind of differently, and we've gotten sort of varying feedback about how quickly some overlays update compared to others. We're going to be looking into web overlay performance just to make sure we can provide like as consistent of a web overlay experience as possible. But any feedback or any issues you guys are running into, please don't hesitate to reach out, because we definitely would love to hear any issues or any questions and see if there's anything we can do on our end to get things up and running for you guys. So yeah, just shoot us an email, and we definitely want to help however we can. All right, yeah, Access Productions, I agree, especially for just like background music or sound effects. It's, you know, I personally like it. Actually, I don't know if you guys can hear mine. I'm supposed to have like really low music playing, but I think I have it turned down so low that I'm not sure you can hear it over my talking. But yeah, I really appreciate like a little chill background music in the background of a stream, or just like when hanging out to sort of fill silence a little bit. Oh, thank you for your kind words about our support team. All right, so Roque, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I'm doing my best. Is it possible to record a live to an external drive? Yes. To record to an external drive while you're streaming with the iPad, You would have to have it plugged into the iPad while you are streaming or recording. I would recommend using a powered hub to connect your external drive, and then I can show you from here. You can select, I don't have an external drive connected, but here, let me pull this up again. If you hit the plus button when you go to recording, you should see any drives that you have plugged in show up in the locations, and then you can select record to that location. All right, Hank says unable to hear my sound effects. All right, I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. I don't think it'll be too loud because it's just some jazzy piano in the background, but I just turned it up a little, so let me know if you guys hear it now that I've turned it up just a little bit. All right, Access Production asks, is the feature for the filter percentage coming soon? Just, okay. I will put down a +1 for you on the slider for the filters because I personally want that as well. Let me make a note to make sure that we get that logged for you. Slider for filters. That's a really good feature request. Thank you for that one. Cornelia, thank you for joining us from Germany. Let me know if you have any questions about Camo on iPad or on the desktop or content creation. Oh, Hank, so you can hear the music now. Yay. So Turkey, for Jacko Live or TikTok Live, we don't have integrations yet, but if you can get a stream key and a stream address from TikTok Live or Jacko Live, you can add a custom streaming destination, and from here you add the streaming address and streaming key to get into to be able to stream into TikTok Live or any other streaming service. I've heard that for TikTok, you might have to reach out to them at support to be able to find your stream key and stream address to be able to add it as a custom destination. We hopefully will have integration with TikTok and Jacko at some point moving forward, now that we know that people are looking for it. But yeah, the way to do that for right now is to add a custom stream address and stream key. So from the streaming button, hit the plus button, and then hit custom to pop that up. You can also add streaming destinations from the settings. If you go to streaming, you can also add any custom destinations from the settings menu. Oh, Brusco says my music choice is soothing. Yay, I'm glad that you guys like it. I know, we need to get Maze to clip it. All right, yeah, so let me know if you guys have any questions about screen recording, or any general questions. Oh, I'm seeing a few more questions pop in right now. So Cornelia says, is it possible to change the sound volume of the app sound? Because you see a slider for the mic and the app, but nothing changed when you use it. Okay, so I just tested this yesterday, and I ran into the same issue as well, where I had a test recording where I turned the volume down for the apps on this iPad all the way low, and I had a recording where I had it turned all the way up, and I really didn't hear that much of a difference. So we've raised it with our team, and we hopefully will get this updated for you sooner rather than later, because I know that volume control is pretty important when it comes to having two different audio sources. So thank you for raising that. We have been able to replicate it, and we will work on that for you. Okay, is it possible to get a stream key from Google Meet? That's a great question, Roque. I'm not sure. I don't think so, because video conferencing apps work a little bit differently than directly streaming. So Right now, I would say it's probably not possible, although we are getting feature requests for people to be able to use the Camo Studio for iPad app with like Zoom or Google Meet with video conferencing apps. So I can put that in as a feature request for you with our dev team so people know, so that we know that people are looking for the capability to use Camo Studio iPad scenes with Google Meet, with Zoom, with Skype, and any other popular video conferencing platforms. I know, pipe and robe and monocle was exactly what I was going for when I chose this. All right, Access Production says other features I'd find handy is being able to rename web links to whatever you want. Yeah, I agree with you. I've actually also run into this is a really good feature request. I'll definitely make sure that gets logged. And panel for contrast or exposure. We definitely want to see how many more image adjustments we can get added into the app without it getting too cluttered. But yeah, it's good to know that people are looking for those features, and hopefully we can get them added. I know I definitely would appreciate a little bit more controls. Just I don't know if you've tried out our Camo Studio for desktop app, but our Camo Studio for desktop does have way more fine-tuned controls for like exposure and contrast and brightness, etc. But yeah, hopefully we can bring those to iPad as well. Filippo, thanks for joining. WebSource can add a web RTC source camera. Can we add more protocols as SRT? That's a great question. I am not super familiar with web RTC and how that works, but I'm sure someone on our engineering team will know what you're talking about, and I will add that as a feature request for you. Yo, keep the feature requests coming, guys, because if I'm being totally honest, we look at all of the feedback, we read all of the YouTube comments, we respond to all of the comments on our socials, at Reincubate, on any of our YouTube videos. We got a ton of really, really helpful feedback from you guys about the screen recording experience, and we were able to improve it based on y'all's constructive criticism and feedback. So thank you guys all for joining and for sharing feedback about your experience with Camo, because we really do read it all, and it really does help us, you know, your feedback really does help guide us for how we continue to add new features, what new features we add, and what other additions that we add into the app. So yeah, please do keep it up. Oh, thank you so much. Sending you a heart, because we do try really hard to provide a great experience. So that makes me really happy to see. All right, so now that we have done screen recording, I thought I would go back into audio a little bit just to cover a little bit more ground. And oh nice, my Nintendo Switch did not fall asleep yet. All right. Neil, hello, thanks for joining us. Oh, I'm so glad you like the new features. I saw that you did a Camo Studio for iPad demo stream. Thank you for that. And I would be really interested to hear if you have any feedback for us on the new features, because you've seen the version before and now you're getting the new update as well. So I'm excited that you're here. Also, as a part of this update, we moved some things around based on your feedback as well. I was just talking about the wonderful feedback that you guys give us. So we used to have scene panels and our stream panels both on the bottom of the iPad screen, but it got kind of difficult to know where you were swiping sometimes. So we've moved stream panels to the left-hand navigation bar. So now if you want to have your scene panel open and your stream panels to be able to monitor your chat or your activity or any quick actions, it's a lot. We've made some improvements to the UI to hopefully make things easier to navigate, especially while you're streaming. So, all right, let me see. I just saw a couple more questions roll in. One is from Mauricio Rojas. Question, can I use Camo Studio for iPad and to pair a Android mobile using the Camo app, but the pairing is not working. Okay, so there should not be any compatibility issues. We have tested before we shipped both Android and iPhone to connect with the Camo Studio for iPad. So if you're having issues pairing, please write into us at support@reincubate.com because it should work. So if it doesn't, we would love to take a look under the hood and see what's going on, maybe get some logs for you to see to see how we can get it up and running, because it absolutely should work with both iPhone and Android running the Camo mobile app. I will say make sure you are running the latest version of the Camo mobile app, because we did also update the Camo mobile app. So if you didn't already check for that, please make sure you're running the latest version. But if it's still not working, please write into us at support, because it 100% should work, and we would love to get this issue sorted out for you. All right, Scott, thanks for joining us. New user, how many remote cameras can you send to Camo Studio on the iPad? So the iPad operating system allows 2 cameras to be selected. So you can add one as one primary video source. You can go to camera and then pair a device. And then in your secondary video source, you can also pair a different one. So you can have up to 2 remote cameras paired at the same time. Hopefully in the future, we'll see if the iPad OS opens up to be able to add more, but for now it is 2. It is 2. Dairy Channel, thanks for joining. Good to see you here. All right, Turkey, I see your question. When you use auto framing for your front iPad camera, your face goes to the left. Just see that Briscoe said that's your better side. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by this. If you can give me a little bit more examples of what you mean, I might be able to better help you. Do you mean that, because when you use auto framing, the camera is supposed to find your face and keep it centered. That's how the feature is designed to work. So I'm not sure what you mean by your face goes to the left. So let me know, or if you want to write into us at support@reincubate.com and share like a video clip or recording of what you're running into, that might help us get a clearer picture of what you're doing and how we can fix it. Neil, great question. Is chat supported for YouTube streaming? So could you clarify what you mean? Are we able to add comments from the YouTube chat to the stream, or do you mean to just show the chat? If you can clarify your question a bit, I can answer it better. But we aren't able to do individual comments onto the iPad scene the way like Ecamm does, for example. I know you happen to be Ecamm fam, so I know what you mean. I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but if that is, we don't have that yet, but we do hope to be able to add it in the future. The only way we can get chat onto your iPad scene right now is using a web overlay that does live chat. Okay, so Turkey, you're saying that it doesn't center your face and it goes to the left somewhere. Okay, I will actually ask you to write into us at support, because if it is not centering to your face and it's going somewhere else, then there might be something with the camera on your iPad that we might need to like just look at some logs for to see if there's anything out of the ordinary with your system, and just so we can see how we can fix it for you. So please write into us at support@reincubate.com. I will drop it in the chat again. Yeah, these are really good questions, everyone. Thank you guys so much for asking them. And it really helps us fill in the blanks for what you guys are looking for and if we are properly communicating things within the app. So keep the questions coming. That's why I'm hosting office hours. I love doing office hours. So I'm really glad that you guys have all are joining us and asking good questions. All right, cool, Neil. I'm glad that I got to your question. Okay. So let's see, for this camera, actually, I want to go back to using my iPhone 12 camera, which is the one up here. Actually, is my room that messy? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'll just put on portrait mode and have it a little bit blurry, but okay. I have to stand in front of the light though, otherwise it'll like be blinding. All right, so the audio tab of the iPad app is where you can have, where you can do your audio mixing. So previously, to be able to have both the game sound and any mic for your vocals, you would need to use an audio mixer or a wireless mic set that was like very convoluted. We have another video about how to mix audio that we released before this update to sort of guide people on how to mix game and mic audio. But now that we have the ability to bring in another audio source using the Camo Studio mobile app, we no longer need an audio interface just to have your mic and game audio. So in your audio sources here, I'm using the Elgato HD60 capture card as to bring in my Nintendo Switch into the iPad. And for the iPhone, I actually have a wireless mic set connected to it. So that's the Rode Wireless Pro set that is in the tiny camera view here to the side. There we go. Oh, Turkey says that it fixed when you turned off mirror video. Oh, okay. Yeah, good point. All right, I did not think of the mirror video issue, but I'm glad that you got it sorted out. So now, even though I have my phone mounted onto the wall up here, so I would not actually recommend using the camera or the phone bottom mic if the phone is positioned somewhere not just directly close to you. Sort of in general, when it comes to using mics in any sort of content creation, the intent is to keep the mic as close to your mouth as possible for the best sound quality. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with y'all, when I first started doing podcasting in 2016, 2017, the thing that I learned most that stood out to me this whole time was my producer, shouts to Jade, always telling me to get closer to the mic, because anytime I was like drifting a little bit away from my mic, my producer would notice a difference in audio, and he'd always be like, Eden, get back closer to the mic, closer to the mic. And I've done a lot of testing when it comes to mics since starting this job, and I can honestly say that anytime a mic is closer to you, it's gonna sound better. So, having said that, if your phone is set somewhere really far away from you, like mine is right now, to be able to get a good camera view, I would recommend using a wireless mic set so you can still have the mic really close to you. Another cool thing about this update is, where is my... I had another phone that I was gonna demo something with that I can't find at the moment, but you can actually have another camera connected without it being active. So you can actually bring in more than one audio source using Camo Mobile, but we're not going to get into that today. We're going to save it for another one. But I did want to walk you guys through being able to have game and mic audio for a live stream, because I feel like a lot of people on iPad are using it for game streams, and it has been one of the pain points that we're now able to overcome with this update a little bit. All right, Cornelia says she has the same problem. When it's centered, it's cut in half. Okay, yeah, Cornelia, do you want to check to see if you have mirror video on in either on your iPad, to see if that could be the culprit as well? Because if you're not having it on the other iPad, I'm guessing it's like a setting thing. Let me see. Okay. The front cam flickers sometimes between zoom and wide. Okay, interesting. Cornelia, have you been in touch with us at support@Reincubate? I think a video sample of what you mean by the front cam flickering between zoom and wide. If you can send us a video sample of what you're running into, that would give us a lot stronger of a starting point to start with when it comes to looking into the issue. Brusco, thank you. My audio quality has always been better than Amin, no matter what. I'll take it. Okay, Roque asks, talking about podcasts, is it possible to do a live podcast not in the same room with Camo Studio for iPad? Okay, great question. The answer is not yet. So when you say not in the same room, I'm assuming you mean that someone is in another location, like anywhere else in the world, another building, that normally you would maybe be able to do using Zoom or Google Meet as a way to like have two people on a call at the same time and recording. So not yet with Camo Studio for iPad. I have put in this feature request for our dev team because I love doing collaboration content. I do some game streaming on the side with one of my best friends at work, but we aren't able to do it with the iPad right now because we don't have the ability yet to bring in another person and another audio source using just the iPad app, but it is on the radar because I feel like in 2024, it's for a streaming studio, it's pretty important to have the ability to bring in a audio and video from a guest, like using like interview style. So not yet, but that feature request is already been logged, and I will add a +1 for you. Okay, Cornelia, good to know that you have reached out, but yes, please do shoot us over a video sample so our dev team can really just see what's going on there. And we might also get some logs from you, but my support team, NA, who was in the chat a little bit earlier, might be the one you're liaising with actually. But yeah, if you can send us a video sample, we might follow up with some instructions about sending over logs as well. I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, email is definitely the safest bet. All right, has anyone here played Mario Odyssey? Any other questions? All right, since we had a question about this earlier, let me see if I can I'm gonna show you guys how to do a chat box. So I'm just gonna go into Stream Elements on my computer and grab a link, and I'm just going to show you guys how to add a web overlay. So, all right, my overlays. So for web overlays, do I have a screen share scene ready to go? Maybe. Yes? Nice. All right, so this is my Stream Elements dashboard. I know that, here, this is where all of my scenes are. I know that these ones, the talk scenes, are the ones with the chat built in. So actually, copy the URL. I am going to have to send it to myself. So I'm going to go back to the iPad screen, send it to my iPad. And then pop it open on the iPad. So I always, whenever I am trying out a web overlay, I like to open it up in Safari to check out, just to make sure, Safari on the iPad to make sure it's loaded correctly, and then from here, copy and then paste. Oops. Did y'all know that when you hit Control V on your computer, it doesn't work on your iPad? Because that's definitely what I just did. All right. Is my iPad too warm? Oh, there we go. All right, so that's how you add a web overlay. And if I were to start streaming live right now, I would just have to make sure that I'm streaming to the right account. Oh, I just realized the other overlay is, while we're here, actually, I'll just go ahead and just walk through some of the layer order things for scene editing, because this is an office hours. But in the layers tab, we made a lot of updates to the scene editing experience earlier this year. So the layers tab is new, and this is where you can add images, text, shape, and more web overlays. You can add more than one web overlay, although I don't recommend adding more than a couple, just because the more web overlays you add, the more pressure it is going to be putting onto your iPad. And it depends on which iPad you have. If you have the latest and the greatest iPad, M2, M3 Max iPad, then you might not have any issues. But if you're running with an iPad that's a couple of years old, then you won't have a great experience, because having a ton of web overlays does also take up processing power. But yeah, you can drag and to re-layer elements. So Access Productions, I don't know if you're still here, but this is where I totally agree with you. That would be really awesome to be able to like rename these, because I have actually no idea which one is which. I mean, I know which one is which because the one on the top of the layers is going to be the one that's on top. But being able to add custom names and to rename them so you have a clearer idea at a glance which layer is which would be pretty clutch. Okay, now which one is which again? Okay, so this is the new one that I added, and this one I can actually, this one, I can delete it for now. And I will resize my elements to fit this one a little bit better. Actually, just make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And then camera scene. So yeah, if I started streaming right now, and to my 3 Twitch followers, if any one of them happened to be online and added anything into the chat, it would show up here in this chat box. But I'm not super active on Twitch, and my 5 followers usually don't pop in unless I specifically tell them that I will be streaming. So yeah, Roque, I see your question about where can you get the shortcuts. Could you specify which shortcuts you mean? I'm not sure when your question rolled in, but I'm not sure what shortcuts you are asking about. Turkey asks, can I make the iPad screen record the phone using Camo? Okay, so not yet at this point in time, because the connection from the phone to the iPad right now only works for the cameras and the mics that are on the phone. I hear you on being able to bring in your phone screen, or as Access Production asked earlier, to bring in an audio source that's like from the phone, like something playing on the phone. So I will add that as a feature request for you. We've gotten that one before as well, and I think it's a great request. That way, you know, if you're doing mobile gaming on your phone, that would be another way to, it would just be easier than, you know, needing to use like a switch and a capture card to bring into the iPad. So not yet, but it is on the radar, and I will add in another feature request for you. And we have about 10 minutes left, guys, so drop in your questions. All right, Roque says, Camo shortcuts to change the cameras during the scene. So you mean shortcuts on the iPad to change cameras when you Oh, okay. I think I know what you mean. Let me check something real quick for you. Because I believe there is a way to set up shortcuts to do so. I have never successfully set up a shortcut on my own, if I'm being perfectly honest. So I don't know off the top of my head how to set a shortcut up properly, but okay, I would actually say if you can write into us at support@reincubate.com, we do have some shortcut specialists on the team that might be able to help out with that. I personally am shortcuts on both the MacBook and on the iPad is something that, and on the phone, any shortcuts on iOS, on the Apple operating systems is something that I need to improve on. But if you shoot us a line at support@reincubate.com, we can get someone on our team that is very familiar with shortcuts to see how we can help get this set up for you. Because I know that we have some keyboard shortcuts in Camo Studio, but they are for switching scenes and for they're mostly for switching scenes and for like opening settings. So which I don't think is what you're asking for though, is because you're asking about changing the camera, and I don't think we have that in there. Turkey asks, can I record PlayStation using Camo Studio? So yes, you would need to bring in your PlayStation. You would need a capture card, depending on which PlayStation you have, that to output your PlayStation into a capture card that then plugs into your iPad. So that would be the best way to do that. And Neil asks, will there be future support for the use of a Stream Deck, either physical or mobile Stream Deck? Yes, Neil. We just talked about this recently. I was like, can we please get Stream Deck support in both our Camo Studio for desktop and our iPad app, because I really want to be able to use the Stream Deck to control like scenes or camera switching. So that is, we don't have it set on the roadmap yet, but we've got a lot of requests for it. I've been pushing the team for it myself. Sometimes I think it's just about balancing the features that we work on next, but I'll add a +1 feature request for you because I definitely want Stream Deck support in there as well. Do y'all in the stream in the chat have Stream Decks? I would love to know. I know Neil has one. I at this point have so many things programmed onto my Stream Deck when it comes to like keyboard shortcuts, especially for like Premiere or Photoshop. Some of those apps have like 4 key shortcuts that I just program onto the Stream Deck. All of my lights are programmed onto my Stream Deck. So yeah, if you guys have Stream Decks, I would love to know what you guys, what are some of the things that you guys have programmed on there. All right. So since we're here in the Layers tab, in the last few minutes, I'll just walk through adding a few more elements because I think it would be cool to show you guys. But I actually will switch to a different scene because when you're using a web overlay, I feel like whether it's this one or the other one that I had before, I feel like you don't actually need that much customization yourself. But if you are starting from scratch, let's see what this blank scene looks like. All right, cool. Oh, I remember this scene. This is clearly my test scene. As you guys see, I have a bunch of random elements placed on here. This is not the right camera, so we'll switch it over to my iPhone camera that's mounted up there. And then we can... So to change your frame shape, this is where you go into the Layers tab to do so. That's the primary source. So for secondary source, if you hit the 3 dots, you will see an expanded menu open up. I am going to round these corners all the way and turn myself into more of a circle. There we go. Up there. All right, where is that camo logo and why is it up so high? This one? Yeah, Access Productions had a really good feature request to be able to name elements and name layers, because just looking, it's hard to tell which one. Like this is my Namjoon one. Yeah. I will send Namjoon to the back. Actually, I'll hide. Oh, another new thing added in this update is the ability to hide layers. As you can see, my Namjoon picture that was there before is now gone. To bring it back, you can right-click or long press in the left-hand navigation to show, or you can also press it here to hide. Bring it back, or hide, or show from here. Oh, I guess because it's hidden, it can't. So, all right. But yeah, hiding elements is also new in this update, and it's just really useful because that way you don't have to keep deleting things and re-adding them before you're sure if you want them in your scene or not. So this is one of the ones that I have, how many? Let me see, I have two web overlays that I would love to be able to know which one is which at a glance. Cornelia, add a look layer option. Do you mean lock layer? I think, yeah. If you mean lock layer, lock and unlock, so you don't actually move it, don't accidentally unmove it, that is a good request. I will get that added for you. Layer, lock, unlock. All right. Yeah, that's a good request. A lot of good requests from the Camo Studio iPad office hours today. Thank you guys so much for being engaged and for sharing really good feature requests and asking really good questions. Let's see. Opacity slider is also a cool little feature. I did have it turned down because it looks, I like how it kind of blends in with the night sky, like it's a constellation for my little Camo logo. Name. Also, I was about to go into a boss fight, which is, I just realized I have this like menacing villain on the screen. Let's go into full screen mode for the last few minutes. I'll let you guys see if any last minute questions pop up, and we'll see if let's see if I win this boss fight. I am watching the chat though. Also, so if I lose, I can blame it on you guys instead of taking responsibility. Ah, I can't even see where I am. Oh, I'm about to die. Yo, I just died in Mario. That's tragic. Caleb, you're late, or you would have asked questions. I don't know if you made it in time to see me just die in Mario, but that's what happens. Bruce Go, I'm trying my best. Yo, one of these, it's my dream to convince Aiden, the boss, to let me do like casual game streams, you know, like a Friday afternoon game stream or something, or Friday morning, or like Thursday afternoon, and it could just be like lazy river style, and we can just like have people ask questions about content creation or Camo, but like have it be like a lot more chill, a lot less formal of a setting. Oh wait, I can pick up rocks? I didn't even know I could do that. Yo, so the blatant network. So there's no game audio because I am streaming actually from my computer right now, and the iPad is not hooked up to my computer. So I'm talking into my computer, and I have actually like a camera pointed at the iPad. So that's how I'm showing what's on my iPad screen, but that's why there's no game audio at the moment. Victor. It's fun to be able to blame the chat. Yeah, I know, Aiden. Aiden, let me live. Let me do my my camo game streams, because the people are asking for it. The people are saying that the camo game stream is a great idea. Is what I'm seeing. Yo, this y'all get me. Yeah. Chill gameplay content would be awesome. I agree. Yo, I almost got ran over again. Yeah, for rewatching, you can... Uger Y, if you want to drop questions in the replay, feel free to, because we check all of our comments. We respond to all of our comments. So if you have any questions that pop up as you're watching, just drop it in the comments, and we will still get to them, even though if you didn't get them in live. Thanks, Caleb. I'm glad that you got to see that you got to see Mario. I also, can I be honest with you guys? I started playing this yesterday. This is literally like level 1. I like haven't even figured out how to do anything yet. But yeah. Brusco says it's the bestest idea. The blatantly blatant network says we should do camo game streams. That's right. I'm gonna send this to my boss with the start time at the very end of the stream that says that, with everyone saying that I should do game streams. I appreciate the constructive feedback, you guys. That would be fun. All right, although I'll be perfectly honest with you guys, I don't think I'm gonna beat this boss while monitoring the chat and talking to you guys. So if you guys don't have any last minute questions, I'm gonna go back to work, and by go back to work, I definitely don't mean finish beating that Mario boss. So, all right, guys, for real, thank you guys so much for joining. We'll be doing more office hours regularly. I'll be doing another live stream with one of our camo friends. We have sort of 2 different types of shows. We have our office hours, which is just camo demo and taking your questions about camo. We also have Camo Classroom, which is about usually like various content creation or video topics that I bring in a guest for. So yeah, Caleb, I'm gonna be, that actually was my excuse for losing at Mario, because I'm actually like kind of scared to go in there. I think I might have just died. Yeah. Mario is awesome. Nintendo rocks. I know, I love Mario. It's one of my favorites. I'm looking forward to putting some hours into this game soon. All right. Chat spam on all the videos for game streams. My boss will definitely see it then. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much, and I will see you guys in the next stream. Bye.